Hello everyone, I'm Re-Noun0 and I am back from vacation. I went to New York to visit some family. I also went out there for New York Comic Con, of course, which is kind of something I do practically almost every year, but I'm glad to be back. Making some videos for you guys. I put out 5 videos in advance for everyone to watch. I had a little problem with the thumbnail for the video on Wednesday, but I hope you guys enjoyed the content I was able to put out before, of course, I went on vacation. But now we're back talking about something that, of course, always seems to happen when I'm away, and it's a bunch of nonsense involving EvS, of course. Talking about how RippaSend apparently is too expensive for George Alexopoulos and Razorfist, who are looking to continue the Ghost of the Badlands book, and how George bailed apparently on it. And, of course, it all gets cleared up, and apparently EvS claims things are still the facts. So we're going to go through a couple of things, of course. As usual, we see numbers here for Horseman, almost 12k books, almost 700k in sales. You can still get in on the Bloodruth poster that's out. It's a limited time, I think till November 1st. It's like a Halloween themed poster, only 300 made, just before Bloodruth will be dropping. As always, though, when you're away, you have weirdos still for some reason talking about you, and it's a very weird thing to see. I really don't understand how you could be away and some weirdos are still talking about you, even when you're not saying anything about them. It's like, holy crap, your photo looks absolutely homosexual, and we are not going to talk about that. I'm sorry for you that you're gay. It's okay for you to be gay, but unfortunately, I don't swing that way. So we'll start off with this clip, of course, coming from this Comics Gate is Comics Great, talking, a clip of Razorfist talking about why Ghost of the Badlands 2 was canceled. Let's get into it.
Omaha Renegade.
Okay.
Saw we may not get another Ghost of the Badlands. That makes me sad. Have fulfillment services been considered in lieu of George driving to the post office every day?
It's more than that. We had already reached out to Eric July, I think, or at least George did, and based on what they were going to charge, it was like we would not even really have anything for ourselves. The long and short of it is, George crunched the numbers and was like, unless we made $1 million on an Indiegogo, it wouldn't be worth it.
So realize he said $1 million on an Indiegogo because, of course, Indiegogo takes a cut, and according to Razorfist, he says a majority of his audience is, in fact, across the pond.
Damn.
I don't know. I think I disagree with that assessment, personally. But he mentioned $1 million a few times when we were first starting the campaign, and I wonder if he just didn't have his heart set on that, and when he didn't get that, he just didn't want to continue. I don't know.
So there you go. You just kind of have the long and short from Razorfist himself. But of course we have this clown over here, EvS, reacting to a clip of something that George was talking about. It's coming from a student of God. Unprovoked attack. Because Razorfist canceled his comic, Ethan Van Sciver uses the moment to talk crap about the artist, George Alexopoulos, and call him names. Even pulls up an old video. EvS is highly unprofessional, a piece of dog water. We already knew that, because he's still going on and on about creators, even after he has a supposed truce with JDA. It's a weird thing that the truce only extends so far. Well, let's get into this.
Pause. To be funny, because it's cartoonists are kind of male cartoonists are kind of like that.
And it's still better and actually still gets out there more often than your garbage comics.
Female cartoonists, as you know, because you see this you even see this in Twitter, like their avatars and stuff. They draw themselves looking thin and cute, pixie-like, Look at Vicky-verse, for example. Like, Vicky's hideous, like, in real life. But, she draws herself looking foxy with, red hair over her face and everything like this. And that's, or whoever draws her that way. Her avatar looks that way.
That's on YouTube, not on Twitter, by the way.
Everybody, all females draw themselves looking cute. It's female brain. Look at how Georgie draws himself.
He actually kind of looks like that in real life, though. He at least draws himself close to what he kind of looks like in real life.
It's not just women. It's like a feminine thing. to sort of do that, to sort of draw yourself cute. You know,
You know what's really feminine? You talking crap about Eric July every single day. That's what's really feminine. You're still going on and on about the black man being successful every single day, and now you're trying to do this weird trope where now you're calling it young trash cast, trying to have lower numbers so you don't seem like a psychopath, continuing to obsess over another creator constantly, because you know for a fact you're over 100 trash casts, and I'm sure you'll hit somewhere in the 200 range before you get Rainbow the Brute or Cyberfrog 3 out. So let's move on though. EvS becomes the birthday party clown. Massive hypocrisy. Ethan tells you a comic that he didn't read is bad. Did a whole video about one page he saw on the internet. This is exactly the same type of content that your boys Zach and Ethan have been criticizing and crying about lately. What's the real reason behind their criticism? It's 100% personal. These grown men got all up in their feelings like a woman. This is why they look like hypocrites. So of course, now they're doing content that they think is gonna, well, especially him, doing content that think he's gonna get his audience back, and although he's lost the majority of his comic audience a long time ago, because all he does is obsess over somebody else. It's a very weird thing. Just remember, this is the same individual that said this.
almost entirely white kids that are like, I have a black friend on the
Yes, I'm Puerto Rican, buddy. You're already seeming like a racist. It's okay.
internet. You realize that, don't you? You realize that, like, you know, race really does have a lot to do with why people like you, because
No, that's called being racist. You're assuming based on his skin color that people like him just because he's black. No, people like Eric July because he's genuine. He puts it all out there that he's making his own comic universe, and he doesn't care if you buy it and you like it, cool. If you buy it and you don't like it, cool. People like him because they like the things he's producing, and they like the things that he has to say, especially in the socio-political commentary that he used to do.
people are like, well, look, this is great. Like, there's a guy on the internet who's a black guy who shares my politics and probably doesn't hate me because of the color of my skin.
And clearly you hate him because of the color of his skin. You've made it very obvious multiple times on streams. I've shown multiple clips of you being absolutely racist and being an absolute clown.
It turns out that you do. Turns out that Eric does. He looks at you and he sees the color of your skin and he just
No.
goes, this is some gay shit. You think I'm gonna beg white people? Why people?
Again, I've said this before in videos in the past. What this clown doesn't understand is the fact that Eric has never said something like that he hates his audience because of the color of their skin. What he hates is the black people looking for handouts and looking for validation from white people, which is what Eric has always talked about in his socio-political commentary when it comes to this whole mentality of playing a victim because of the color of your skin, which is something you still fail to understand to this day. But of course you go on to continue the narrative saying these are just the facts. In this clip, Ethan continues to lie that RippaSend is too expensive because of course he believes that they actually talked, both George and Eric July, that is.
Johnny Rocket, this is July here. So Razorfist lied that you talked to RippaSend and it was way too expensive. And here's Vito, who said, go
Yeah, nobody cares about what Vito has to say.
to the Badlands drama. Razorfist George lost $50,000 by undercharging for shipping on Indiegogo. Considered using RippaSend to cut costs, but realized it was a terrible deal.
They literally never said that. Literally never said that. And the talks never really happened, which I'll show you in just a second.
These are just facts based on what Razorfist said. There's no way around that.
They're not facts because all he said was they were in talks, but they never talked about pricing.
Is what Razorfist said. Okay? And that's not gossip and all this stuff. Like, this is what you guys are saying. When somebody says, I bought issue 1 of your book, and I want to know when I can buy issue 2, and the reasons why you give why there will never be an issue 2 are because of financial reasons, and these are the financial reasons. It's not gossip, it's people, it's fans discussing and mourning over the fact that two creators couldn't figure out a way to do business effectively.
Clearly you can't do business effectively because Matt Martin left All Caps Comics. You couldn't effectively keep him under the wing of All Caps Comics. He had to go and self-publish because your lazy decided to not get his book out to his customers.
To produce the second issue. It isn't just people gossiping. There were people who sincerely wanted you to do Ghosts of Badlands 2, including Razorfist. Razorfist wanted you to do it too. And your reasons for not doing it, it cost too much. You undercharged for shipping. That doesn't seem to be in debate. Nobody is saying that that isn't true. And apparently you said and told Razorfist that you investigated RippaSend and it was too expensive. And we figure out what happened there. Because there are some people going, oh, so Georgie lied about that? No, that's not what happened. It's right. It's on this whole thing.
He spoke to a representative at RippaSend, not Eric himself. It's literally right there, as he, probably read that. But this is just a shortened clip. Remember, this is the same guy who went from 1.2 million down to 780K as he continues to pad his new campaign for Cyberfrog 3 with even more older items, including now Cyberfrog Dark Harvest, which is a campaign that hasn't been fulfilled, by the way, as well as adding the PVC Cyberfrog toys that nobody seems to care about, as well as the Blood Honey and Wrecked Planet Collected Edition that was also on the Dark Harvest campaign. And then you have the One of Everything, which no one bought because nobody cares about your Cyberfrog trash. Even goes on to say the misinformation is staggering coming from the RippaSend goalpost. Eric, July, and George already corrected the record, yet these individuals proceed with their narrative. Now, I'm going to show you that right here, where Eric himself says, we hope this clarifies everything. Though one of our reps stated we were around to help, there were never any formal talks between the Ghost team and RippaSend. No meetings, no discussion of pricing or details of services. We support both of these brothers and all is good. So it says right here, for the record, we never spoke to George about costs associated with our services. We never actually spoke in detail about anything we offer, in fact. In which George responds, this is correct. The usual parasitic gossip individuals are taking simple statements I made about difficult personal business decisions and are running with it to generate drama where there is none, so they'll have something to talk about. Because that's how drama farming goes. And this was where it says, if you ever need some help with that fulfillment, reach out to RippaSend. This was on April 18th of 2024, after replying to this message here from George. So now we'll have clowns like, of course, T.J. Spencer, the most individual on the planet. This is why we call Eric July a dishonest person and a liar. So now George is a liar. He didn't talk to Eric about business with RippaSend. He didn't, because it came directly from him, you absolute moron. They were talking about the cloud or something, shooting the breezes. Who is more believable here? That George never approached Eric about his services to help with the rising costs of shipping, eating to profit, or that Eric never talked to George? Both. They've literally confirmed it between the two of them. The information is out there. Eric's a lying sack of business BS. He lies like a Democrat. Again, this is a talking point this clown has said before. Of course, he has me blocked because he's a huge coward. During election season, he thinks he controls the narrative by manipulating his audience, not realizing that many outside of that audience can see through it and now won't support him because of the lies. Yes, a bunch of people who were never going to support him in the first place, like your weirdo self. Again, worry about your terror on the trenches too, because apparently you can't get another six-figure campaign. So, I mean, why don't you worry about your books and shut the heck up? Because it's funny how a one-shot right now of Gooding outsold all of your campaigns, probably combined. It's a bad sign because everyone in earshot just heard that, according to the artist, someone with a channel as big as Razorfist could not turn a profit while using RippaSend unless they hit six figures. No, because dummies don't listen to anything. Literally, he said, on Indiegogo. You guys heard the clip. These guys are clowns, and it's hilarious when you continue to do it. A number that Rippaverse itself has not hit for a few books now. It's very interesting. Gooding hit six figures. Horseman hit six figures. Every single book, every single comic has hit six figures since I saw number one. There wasn't a single comic book coming from the Rippaverse that did not hit six figures. You are an absolute clown. I think even the signature series of ISOM number one hit six figures. Let me just check that really quick, just to confirm. Yeah, even the ISOM #1 signature series hit 6 figures. So for you to sit up here and be a clown and be absolutely incorrect, information you can easily look up, is hilarious. Because there's literally a Horseman campaign going on that's at 6 figures. To which I respond, it's interesting to me how these guys react, especially the guy who said Eric hasn't made 6 figures in his last 2 campaigns. He made 6 figures on every campaign with comics. This is how you know these guys are brain dead, and no matter how much Eric clears stuff up, they will go along with false narratives. And yes, I told HR here that I would clear it up when I got back from my vacation, and this is the video I will be delivering to you. So at the end of the day, EVS is still a clown. EVS is still a crybaby back who's just going to continue to talk a lot of crap about anyone who's more successful than he is, because of course he cannot see that same success with his own campaigns unless he continues to, of course, pad the numbers with old stuff. So I thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, and returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit the like button, comment below if you feel about all this, subscribe for more content, hit the bell for notifications, set the bell to all. That way you'll get a notification anytime I post a new video, go live on this channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.